You know, I'll tell you this tale, TJ. This is a pretty good one. Came out in the AFA Journal. I can't remember what year it was. Tony and I was doing some clinics. I met him in Asheville, North Carolina. We're doing a clinic for Horseshoe'en Charlie. I know you know him. Oh, yeah. She's Arabians. We're down there, and these folks got swimming pools for the horse. I mean, it's a big, elaborate place. So they're giving Tony $100 to evaluate the horse. Gave me $100 to evaluate the horse. And it came out in the AFA Journal that Tony was going to tell you what the muscle was doing when the horse was in motion. I was going to tell you how the mind was operating the muscle. You know, we was building that thing up. So anyway, I got a phone call when that came out from Alan Smith. Alan Smith's got a PhD. And anyway, Alan called me on the phone. He said, Ralph, I ain't trying to be smart, but he said, I was reading in the journal where you and Gonzalez are doing a clinic down at for Charlie. Well, I keep Horseshoe'en Charlie. He never won't tell you his real name, but anyway, there's a character.
Charles Burrell.
But anyway, we're doing a clinic down there, and he said, what exactly has, and I ain't trying to be smart, what exactly has a mind got to do with shoeing a horse? And I said, didn't you got a PhD? He said, yeah. I said, where did you graduate? He said, why? I said, well, I ain't trying to be smart. I just want to make sure I don't send none of my kids there. But we had a great time. I enjoyed Tony. Most of these people are serious. Now, we're going to get into some of the guys that ain't so serious. But Tony was a serious guy. Robert Lee was a serious guy. And Ben Pierce was not a farrier, and he passed on, but he was a great individual. And we're talking about people that were very serious. Now, a lot of the guys were like, we joke and go on and have a good time. A lot of the guys wasn't. And when we get into some of these stories, you're going to have a good time, I'm sure. But a lot of these guys we're talking about, I wanted to pick these because these were all the serious guys that have passed on. People like Bill McDonald, Robert Lee, Ben Pierce, T.J. White, and Tony Gonzalez. Most of those guys were very serious. Now we're going to get into some real good stuff. We're going to hold our muse, pull them in, take a break, because we're going to talk about Jack Miller. Now, there's a character. Absolutely. And I can tell you story after story after story after story, how we get in trouble, how we got out of trouble, so on and so forth. So now we're going to have a good time talking about some of these guys. And I don't think they'd mind. What do you think?
No, I think they get a kick out of it.
Hold him. We'll be right back. Hey, gang, I'm Ralph Casey.
And I'm Link Casey.
You know, as the owner of a farrier school, we get hundreds of letters for individuals that would like to see what goes on here. And plus, at the Research Center, for the first time, we're offering a free DVD just for the asting that tours not only the school, but the Research Center. And hey, remember, it's free.
It is. It's free. It's me.
Hey, gang, I'm Ralph Casey.
And I'm Link Casey.
You know, 15 years of research here at the Research Center. We've got something every horse owner that ever owned a horse or you're going to buy a horse, you definitely need. And here's some of the things you're going to learn, gang, that's important that you should know about the Grammar School of Shoeing and Trimming. You're going to learn what causes stumbling, overreaching, elbow hitting, forging or clicking, crossfiring, scapping, and the most dangerous, speed cutting. And guess what, gang? It's going to show everything that your farrier should know or you should know about your horse, and here it is. It's a DVD free for the asting. Every horse owner can get this, or farrier, or anybody out there. It's free. You can see the number right there on the screen, gang, and we're encouraging you to get it. It's going to be something you're just going to cherish from now on. Thank you.
For those of you who love horses and want to work outdoors and be your own boss, you may want to consider a career as a certified farrier. It's hard work, but very rewarding. One of the most highly recognized schools in the United States is right here in Villanelle, Georgia, owned and operated by Ralph Casey since 1989. The Casey & Son Horseshoeing School has received the Horseshoeing School of the Year award for over 8 years. With Casey as your head instructor, you will receive the most up-to-date training in farrier science that is not available at any other school.
Now I'm gonna save my story because I got so many, but I might get myself in trouble. But I think this is a good one because it was the first time that any school had ever went to another school, and Bucky talked me into that. So I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna pass this mic and let you talk about Jack Miller.
Jack Miller, there's an icon in this industry that those of you that never got to meet him, you missed. Because he was a friend of mine for a long time. There's been a lot of things said about this guy, and it's kind of an emotional thing for me. But the thing about Jack Miller is he could shoe horses out of a shaving kit. This guy would get on an airplane. At one time, he was in the top 2% of fares on Continental Airlines. He could walk into an airport, and this is as true as it doesn't get any truer than this. He would work all day in Wellington. There was a guy, we call him Boudreaux, and he worked for Jack. And Boudreaux would take Jack to the airport, no shower, no change of clothes, put him first class on a plane. They buy the ticket that moment. It's the most expensive ticket you could buy. He never had a ticket one day in advance. He bought the ticket when he was ready to go. He would get on a plane, fly all over this country, shoot the best horses in the country, and it never affected him. And people would be in that first class section, and they would complain because he stunk. He was a horseshoe. But Continental Airlines would put them off because Jack was one of their best customers. He spent his life on an airplane. I know him for the last 30 years of his shoeing career. He never owned a truck or a tool. Yet shod horses all over the world. You figure out how a guy can do that. He was an absolute master mechanic. Make anything, teach you anything. But the main thing with Jack is he would shoe with nothing, with absolutely nothing. And he could get a horse shod. And not just get him shod, but move him up. And when I say move him up, you're making one win. Okay? And that was Jack's forte. At one time, he was the most sought-after hunter-jumper shoer in the world. Funniest guy in the world. He liked a good joke. You never saw him without a pair of golf clubs. In fact, that's the one thing that we knew Jack had, was golf clubs. We never knew if he had any tools. We used to laugh because in the Winter Equestrian Festival, which lasts for like 6 months in Florida, you know, we always used to make a joke about Jack. Did you see Jack's ad? He's looking for help. And the ad would read, you know, looking for apprentice for Winter Equestrian Festival, send photo of truck and list of tools and equipment. And I know it's funny, but it's so true. That's just the way the guy was. He was exactly what you saw every day. But a mechanic in this business didn't take the time to teach someone. If they asked him a question, he was there for you. If you had a cocktail, he was really there for you. He was a Johnny Walker Blue kind of guy. And I have seen him face down in a plate of spaghetti at 10 o'clock at night, and 5 a.m. come to the horse show trying to get in early, and Jack's on his third horse. And that's the truth about Jack Miller. He was just the best, one of the best that could do anything with nothing. And I see so many people look at a tool and they do something that doesn't work out and say, these tongs don't work right, you know. And Jack was the kind of guy, he didn't need tongs, he just needed 2 sticks. It's not the tool, it's the man that makes the tool work efficiently. And if you ever got to watch Jack Miller shoe horses, you would learn what efficiency was. And that's all I got to say about one of the dearest friends I ever had.